online. Welcome back to, hey, I'm hanging out with Doug McGuirk. That's what's going on today. Doug, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
I wanted to have you on because got the 100 Millionaires Summit coming up, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew just how awesome it was going to be, that you've got some cool things you're bringing to the table. So before we dive into the 100 Millionaires Summit and what you're bringing to the table, what have you been working on recently, most recently?
Tons of, well, got a, bunch of plates spinning, as it were, from the speaker training aspect. Been doing quite a bit of traveling and teaching people this week or last week, executives, how to create a more powerful presentation when they're delivering to C-suite executives, when they're delivering up, and then also how to lead their team through their variety of communications. And as you know, you cannot not communicate. So whatever we're all doing here in life is communicating our needs, communicating our desires, communicating our goals, and looking to get people on board with us to get their buy-in, right? That's the old, because there's that question, and I love asking this, doesn't matter what room I'm in, I'll raise my hands, like, okay, who here is in sales? And
nobody raises their hand.
Nobody raises their hand, right? Like, wow, you guys,
they're all in sales.
Yeah, we're all in influence, right? So maybe if we change our relationship with the word, that sales is transactional, whereas maybe if we look at it from the idea of influence, where that's communication, well, that's building relationships, that's adding value to someone. And sometimes you do need someone to participate, but sometimes it's just to change their mindset, just to change their perspective. And that's ultimately what a sale is you have someone who maybe doesn't want to take action. Maybe they have some fear or trepidation around whatever the opportunity is in front of them. And our job as influencers or salespeople is to get them to buy into the offer, whether it is an actual transaction or it's a change, a transformation of mindset, of attitude, of belief. So I've been doing that with some executives at Honeywell and Training Technologies and
high level people. I wasn't sure if you could say the company, but now that you said the company, can you tell us about the helicopter transportation thing?
Okay, yeah. So I don't think
he said that. I was like, dude, I want to be teaching those executives, and then I want.
They told me the name of it, and I forgot. I didn't. But you can look it up. So I'm not sharing anything that's like company secrets. So
company secrets is what you're sharing. It sounds better. That's going to be my clickbait. Yeah, later on when we go back to this.
There you go. So sitting there, I was like on a break, and I'm like, so basically Honeywell's a gigantic company with hundreds of thousands of employees. With this, the program that I'm teaching is part of their leadership development program. So these are the people who have been tapped by the CEO of Honeywell, the people who are now ready to move into the next stage, and he wants them to be prepared. So these are all these high-level aeronautics and a bunch of different companies. So I go to this one guy, I'm like, hey, dude, what are you guys working on that's like kind of secret? Like, you got to have some cool, badass technology, right? How about like alien ships? And he was like, he goes, no, because we're actually like, we don't make planes, as you know, we make the parts to planes. And actually our technology is usually about 10 years behind what's cutting edge, because what we do has to work all the time. So safety first, like there's nothing that we do is experimental. And then they go, but then this one woman goes, yeah, but what about, and then shares this other thing. And he goes, okay, well, that's all right. So check this out. So these are battery operated cars, planes, small planes, like Jetsons, so there's like George Jetson stuff, but it holds, like a few people. It's not a big giant plane, small plane that holds, say, 4 to 8 people, maybe bigger as they grow, but it's automated, it's AI driven, and it has a really small footprint. It flies straight up and then takes off and flies to the destination. And it has a range of roughly 200 miles.
That's insane. And you teach these high-level executives how to talk good, right?
Yeah. Now, how are they going to deliver? So think of it like and we all have this, don't we? So let's look at it from an example from real estate. We've got.
Before you even say that, like, these guys are not managing like one person. These guys are managing like hundreds of people, right? Like these are
or
executives
thousands.
who are managing hundreds or thousands of people.
Yeah.
So they have a reason need to influence, right?
Right. But here's why, but this is interesting. The reason why they were tapped was not because of the people they lead, so that they could communicate better with leadership, so that they could, when they come in, when they're talking to the CFO, the CEO, the directors, these were all high level people, but there are still some more people above them, right? We got 100, I think it's a 150, 200,000 people person company. So what we have is that these people are in senior level, but they're still senior above them.
They're still executive level above the seniors. Like,
yeah, but they're. I mean, this is the cream of the crop, to be sure. I mean, they were tapped by the CEO, but so let's frame it around real estate, so we could look at kind of what they're dealing with as well. To your perspective, in point around the people you lead and then people you lead up to. So as an investor, we have two people we communicate with. We have our buyers and then our investors. As an investor, we may find ourselves needing to raise money, raise capital, which means, there you go, we're going to communicate with someone who has more of what we need. There you go. Capital. So if I'm speaking to a high-level executive, I'm going to the CEO, that CEO has more resources, more capital that I may be looking to receive to create an initiative for the organization. As an investor, I may go, hey, I've got this great opportunity, but I need more resources. I need more money. So I need to be able to communicate effectively to that person who's further along, has more resources. I want access to your resources so that I can then bring it to and utilize my resources. So that may be my contractors, it may be the realtor, it may be a end buyer, it may be a city council, depending on the size of scope of your project. You may have to go to get an abatement or, find, like I was just talking to Frank McKinney. He came in this last real estate deal I'm doing. He came down, he's like, yeah, let's go, I want to go check it out. And then he was telling me about his project, and he's like, man, he goes, I have to go back to the drawing board because I went to the local municipality to do the zoning and all this stuff, and I was off by 5 feet. And I have to go back. And, he's like, he took ownership. It was, how it all happened. But it's like, man, you've got to communicate with so many different people and influence so many different people. And where I guess my passion is around that is how to do that effectively and do it in a way that is not only effective, that also is fun, but also from a perspective of like one to many. So then it goes back to your point there. So now you've got a group that you're leading. How do you get their buy-in? So if you're a coach, a speaker, a business owner, and you've got a staff, how do you create an environment, a culture of people, a community of people who are on your same page, who can live it, who can experience it, so that, I don't get too deep into the training and unpack some of the secrets, but I'll give you a little
no, you can't give them the secrets. This is just a call to let them know stuff's going down at the summit.
Right. Well, no, but I'm gonna give it to you here. Well, here's what it is. So
all right, Doug, let's get a secret then. You've made
a little secret that do. Okay. So what? Visualization. Right? You've got to have a vision. And not only must you have a vision, you've got to be emotionally connected to that vision. It's not just about the vision. We do those vision boards, and we do that so that when we look at it, we can feel whatever that is, so that we can pull ourselves towards that it's more than just a visualization. It's a holistic experience. It's seeing, hearing, and feeling. It's being fully present. So the work that we're going to do at the summit is going to give you that gift of helping you figure out your vision and become emotionally tied to it, so that you can see, hear, and feel. You can, rather than imagine you're riding a bicycle or a roller coaster, it's like getting on the bicycle or roller coaster, so that we can experience it. And your brain doesn't know the difference. And that's kind of the secret sauce, is once you understand how your brain works, you can create such amazing things that your brain doesn't know you're not really on the bicycle. or doesn't really know you're not on the roller coaster, or doesn't really know that you don't already have that investment property.
And one of the things about getting on a bike or a motorcycle is like we're going down a hill, right? Like this is not just get on the bicycle or just get on a bike. Like this is not just roller coaster, click, tick, 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 tick. This is fast. This is about fast action this year. We're going into a recession. We're in a recession technically already, but we're going into a recession. So people need to learn how to communicate.
Recession.
Deeper into, and I think this thing is going to last 2 to 4 years. Like this is just everything I'm looking at is super exciting to me because I am a freaking real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur. I make more money in a recession than I can make any other time of the year. And I have communication skills. Like I know how to communicate one to many, one to masses, one to social media, thanks to the conversations I've had with you, my other mentors, other coaches. So Doug, what are right now, somebody's facing this recession, they're getting into it. And like, I know I'm laughing and smiling because like, it does get me excited. Like I love the fact that opportunities are available everywhere now. When people come to the summit and they're thinking, okay, like I got to have my vision or I'm going to create my vision. It's not just create your vision there. Like have a vision, have some goals when you come to the summit, have some intentions so that when you get there, Doug can take the emotions and juice you up, like really like charges so you do stuff. Because too many of you right now listening aren't doing the things you're supposed to do to get you where you want to go. You're not communicating the way you're supposed to communicate to get what you're looking for. And too many of you are sitting there thinking, man, like I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next time. I'll get to it later.
Or they're just they're still waiting for the right moment, waiting to time the market. And like, it's like, so a great example, like, using, Tesla as an example, it dipped.
Yeah. Perfect time to buy.
Right. And they're like, oh,
cost average,
right? Yeah. And now they look going, oh man, I wish I should have missed the opportunity. And you didn't. There'll be another opportunity. There is an opportunity right now. But the point is that all too often we get that procrastination is really fear. Right. So it's putting it off because we think, oh, well, let me just like, you're trying to time the market. And that's not, there's always going to be a time that you go, oh, you know what? I could have eked out another 10%. Right. And then it's like, yeah, but you also would have lost 20% carrying it to that point where you would have got that 10%. So like, take action. And really the most important skill set you and I can master during times like this is resiliency and confidence. Yeah. Because it's that faith. It's that faith that it's the old saying, faith it till you make it. Right. So you've got to have, because here's what I do know. When you come to join us at the summit, what we know is you're already achieving a certain level of success. You're not like, it's not for someone who's got nothing going on. I mean, it could be if you're ready to get the next steps.
Stay at home. If you got nothing going on in your life, stay at home. This is not for them.
When I say nothing going on, I mean that they haven't yet seen the results, but they're ready. That they're kind of
taking action. Yeah. They're taking action and they want to get to the next level. Absolutely. Be in the room with us. We'll move you forward. Yeah.
100%. But my point is that if you are, when you join us at the summit, you're going to find that you will be in a new kind of vacuum, or a more effective vacuum, a vacuum of confidence, a vacuum of community, of people who are positively focused, that they're seeing, to your point, the glass is half full, not half empty. And some people right now are just taking that glass, breaking it and cutting other people with it. Right. So we want to be sure that we're wisely using our resources. And one of those resources is our most valuable, which is our time. Is that when you come to these events, the next thing is, to your point, coming with that intention. Right. Kind of going, okay, I'm ready. I'm putting on my armor. Like, now I'm not going to go too much down this path right now, but it's spiritual armor that you and I must put on to be able to deal with the uncertainty. Right. Because when there's the great news, the reason why these things happen, it's really a self-fulfilling prophecy. While there are external factors that are at play for sure, like I'm not saying it's completely made up. Things are happening that there are responses to. The blessing and curse to this is the self-fulfilling prophecy that is now sort of like taken further. So the self-fulfilling prophecy that you'll have, which is, this is great, opportunities everywhere. Like there's going to be this awesome, this, well, it's being created because there's other people who are freaking out. Now, when people are freaking out, we could either end up going down the drain with them, get sucked down that vortex, or, which is easier for most because there's more of it, right? And there's certainly
go with the flow, right? Go with literally the flow of the toilet.
Right. Or you can choose to put yourself in another environment and go with a different kind of flow, but this flow is a little bit different. This flow, when you come to the summit, what it'll be is, using a somewhat archaic example, is everyone is rowing the boat moving forward. We're all working together, playing our role, and we're all doing we're bringing our unique gifts, but we're all working towards an awesome outcome as opposed to just going down with the flow, flowing it. That there is going to require an effort. However, when we work together in concert, when we work together as a community, when we work together as celebrating each other's successes and holding each other to a higher standard and playing our game at a much higher level, and all the incredible people who are going to be at the summit, not just all the amazing presenters and speakers, all the people who are there at the event are people that you want to be on the boat rowing with, going to an awesome outcome, as opposed to sitting at home freaking out, going, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end, self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you will go, dang, I should have gone to that summit. And then you'll have to wait till the following year, and then it will be even more challenging.
Yeah, Doug, I'm excited. This year is intense. It's nuts. What we have on the calendar is just a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of walkthroughs. I think you're going to do the same. I think you're sticking to the same talk you did on the second day, where we're going to go through that process of deep emotional, like pull out a bunch of the garbage.
Temporal dynamics here. We're gonna, when Terry, talks about getting the dirt off the tracks, this will just be doing a little bit in that, kind of one session where it will get into the other than conscious. And we're going to find out on a deeper level, what fuel, what resources have prevented us in the past from taking it to the next level. And we could all relate. I mean, I don't know anybody, no matter how successful they are, who don't believe they could get even further, they could contribute even more, they could accomplish even more. And it's always something that's sort of nebulous, or something we don't realize because you can't see the picture from the frame. We don't realize that sometimes some of the things that are very basic, very common sense that we think is actually what's preventing us. And we're gonna unpack that, rip it out once and for all. And by the end of day 2, you will have an incredibly powerful and new transformation. And you're like, the amount of courage, confidence, belief in yourself, belief in and your connection to something bigger than you and a purpose bigger than you will be so transformational that it literally, your life is changed on a cellular level when you go through our experience on day 2. And we prepare you during day 1.
Yeah, day 1. By the way, for everybody who's listening right now, if you haven't booked your tickets, go to 100mmsummit.com and register for the 100 Millionaire Summit. It's October 21st to 23rd, and you have to register. You have to be there because and by the way, come ready. Like bring yourself prepared and ready, because these are not short days. We're over delivering 3 days in a row, and our VIPs are getting an extra 4th day. But this is from 8 o'clock in the morning till almost midnight, 2 days in a row. 2 of those days are full. They're like extra days or day and a halves. And then the next day, Sunday, like everybody thinks like you go to these events and they gyp you on that last, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours. You ever go to those events on Sunday? They're like, oh, we're done by 1. Done by 1? Like, what did I pay for?
Well, yeah. So be sure. Yeah. Don't book your travel like that.
Don't book your travel for 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
We will be in the room until 5 o'clock because we play this game full out. Like, this is next level. You're coming here to be successful. You're coming here to connect. We're giving you every opportunity to network, connect, get with the right people. Over 100 millionaires will be in the room, including Doug McGuirk. He'll be there teaching about how to speak clearly, how to use emotions to compel others, to move yourself to do things, and then inspire others to get on board with you, because you can't do anything alone. You can make 100,000 alone, sure, go make your 100 grand. But if you want to make a $250,000, you want to make a $500,000, you want to make $1 million, you're going to need a team, you're going to need partners, you're going to need strategic partners, which means you're going to have to learn how to communicate. Doug, I really appreciate you jumping on this call, man. And I'm like, from the bottom of my heart, so thankful that you're going to be at the 100 Millionaires Summit this year, delivering. You are essentially my right-hand man at this event. And so that's why you're the first person I'm interviewing, first person I'm like getting your insights on. I'm going to bring you back on again in a couple of weeks, just, because there's a lot more that unfolds as we're putting this event together. If you were to give somebody a piece of advice, if somebody was on the fence right now with their own life, like, let's just give them some value right now. Like, if they're on the fence on whether they should become a millionaire, whether it's something, a good thing to do, or if they are facing a recession, maybe they are swirling down the toilet. And by the way, going back to your metaphor, I got to say this, because you gave me a good metaphor with this whole, go against the flow thing, go with the flow, is that there's also like, I want to, like, you and I and the other millionaires who are on stage are the guys throwing the rope back down the toilet bowl. Like, we already made it out. We're up at the top saying, hey, how do we go back and get some of these guys out of there? And we're tossing the rope in, but you got to grab on, right? Like, it's your responsibility to grab hold. So Doug, what piece of advice would you give somebody who's, seeing the opportunity, seeing the rope in the water, and it's just like, I don't know, like, is this right for me? Like, how do I swim over there?
So if there was ever a time in your life that you've had that thought, that you've looked back, you've done a retrospective, you've done that forensic, and you said, if your superpower is, like many of us, hindsight, what I should have done is I should have invested in that property. I should have taken advantage of that. I should have asked that person out on that date. I should have, whatever that is. And you look back and you go, oh, I regret not taking action. Let's not make this be one of those times. Because right now, it couldn't be more important with all the craziness. And at the moment, the way people are responding, the energy of what's happening at the moment, it looks like it's going to be here for a while, that it's not going to transform immediately, that there's a major consciousness shift that will need to occur in order for us to take, for the average person to take advantage of what's going on. And here's what I know: if you're still watching, if you've tuned in, it's by divine providence that we're having this little communication, that you're ready to no longer settle. You're ready to take it to the next level. You're ready to create that financial, emotional, and spiritual freedom that you truly deserve. And right now, it's more important than ever before. If you've got children, if you plan on having children, if you have a family, if you have a friend, if you have a spouse, if you have anyone in the world that relies on you for anything, whether it be financial, emotional, or other level of support, you owe it to them to take care of yourself and give yourself that gift of transformation, the resiliency, the courage, the confidence, and the resources and connections to support that lifestyle that you truly deserve and can create. And the only thing stopping you could be attending an event like this that is going to help you manifest a incredible mindset to create that emotional, financial, and spiritual freedom you deserve.
Man, I love it, Doug. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. For everybody who's listening right now, share this, like it, subscribe, click the link in the bio. Actually, you don't have to subscribe. Just go buy the ticket to the 100 Millionaire Summit. Register, share it with somebody else.
I suppose the link is in the comments, yeah?
I can't put the link in the comments because then Facebook won't like it. So the link
Even
is
in
in
the
the
comments?
bio. Can't put it in the comments. It's some crazy, man.
They changed the algorithm
Zuckerberg.
again. Yeah.
Zuckerberg's selfish. He's greedy. He's like, no, you stay on my website at all times. So, so you go to the link in the bio, whatever platform. What is it?
Told them the other hack now.
Yeah, I let him know. I said, like, keep them all in one place, right? So for everybody listening, thank you. Cheers to your success. Remember, choice. Always work with the best.
The blessed.